The late afternoon sun hung low over Willow Grove, a suburban enclave where every lawn was clipped to perfection and every mailbox painted an HOA-approved shade of slate gray. It was the kind of place where silence felt like a rule, not a choice. 12-year-old Mia, a bright-eyed Girl Scout with a neon green sash that clashed gloriously with the neighborhood's muted tones, tugged her cookie-laden wagon down the sidewalk. Her steps were tired but determined. Her humming a soft VY brat ion, she felt more than heard through her cochlear implants, discreetly tucked under her sandy blonde hair. Selling cookies wasn't just about the money for Maya, it was about the thrill of independence, the friendly smiles, and the coins that brought her closer to a dream. A professional-grade art tablet to bring her VYVYD imagination to life. Mia stopped at a grand two-story colonial, its exterior a flawless eggshell white, its gardens so precise it looked like a painting. This was the home of Cynthia Harrow, a name that sent shivers through Willow Grove's kids, who whispered Cruella Cynthia behind cupped hands. Cynthia was a titan on the HOA board, her voice sharp enough to slice through any neighbor's courage at community meetings. Mia took a deep breath, smoothed her sash, and marched up the pristine flagstone path. Her wagon's wheels rumbled faintly, a sensation she felt through her sneakers. At the glossy black door, she pressed the sleek new AegisNet doorbell, its camera lens glinting like a watchful eye, a recent edition courtesy of HOA President Victor Lang's Secure Serenity initiative. The door didn't open gently. It flew back with a force that made Mia flinch. Cynthia stood there, a towering figure in a tailored ivory suit, her platinum hair sculpted into a helmet of hairspray. She clutched a steaming mug of coffee, its bitter scent cutting through the roses. "What do you want?" Her voice was a whip, each word laced with irritation. Mia's practiced smile wavered as she began to sign, her hands moving with grace. "Hi, I'm Mia, selling Girl Scout cookies." She spoke softly, her voice clear but cautious, knowing some people bristled at sign language. Cynthia's face twisted, her pale green eyes narrowing. "No soliciting. It's posted everywhere. Can't you read?" Her gaze flicked to Mia's ear, where the implant peeked out. Mia's smile faltered further. She tried again, holding up her order form. "Would you like to support my troop?" Before she could finish, Cynthia stepped forward, her shadow swallowing Mia. "Get off my property, you little nuisance," she hissed, and with a flick of her wrist, she hurled the scalding coffee. It hit Mia's face in a searing wave, a blinding explosion of pain that stole her breath. She gasped, hands flying to her cheeks, her VY shown blurring as the world turned to agony. The wagon tipped, cookies scattering across the lawn like fallen dreams. Mia stumbled, collapsing onto the concrete, her knees and elbows stinging as tears mixed with the sticky, burning liquid. Cynthia stood frozen, the empty mug in her hand, her expression flickering shock, maybe, or just annoyance at the mess. "Look what you made me do," she snapped, her voice dripping with blame. "You shouldn't be here." Without a glance, she turned and slammed the door, Leah VYing Mia sobbing on the path. A few streets away, Emma Carter, Mia's mom, was kneeling in her garden, her hands in the soil, a rare escape from her job as an FBI agent in the Crimes Against Children unit. Her work exposed her to humanity's darkest corners, but Willow Grove was her sanctuary, where she found peace with her husband, Tom, and Mia. Glancing at her watch, she smiled, picturing Mia charming neighbors with her cookie pitch. Then a faint cry pierced the air sharp, desperate. Emma froze, her heart lurching. It was Mia. She dropped her trowel and ran, her pulse pounding as she rounded onto Magnolia Lane. There was Mia, crumpled on Cynthia's walkway, cookies strewn around her overturned wagon. The stench of burnt coffee hit Emma as she knelt beside her daughter. Mia's face was a nightmare of red, blistering skin, her eyes swollen, nearly shut, tears carved VYing paths through the sticky mess. "Mommy, it hurts," Mia sobbed, her voice raspy. Emma's breath caught, horror and rage colliding. This wasn't an accident. Someone had done this. At the ER, Dr. Patel confirmed first, and second-degree burns across Mia's face and neck. Her eyes, mercifully, were spared permanent damage, but the road to recovery would be long. Emma, her FBI training warring with maternal fury, listened as Mia recounted the attack through shaky signs and sobs. Cynthia's anger, the no-soliciting rant, the sudden splash of coffee. Emma's jaw clenched, her eyes turning to ice. Cynthia Harrow, the HOA's petty dictator, had crossed a line into monstrous territory. Emma called her Super VY sore, aged Daniel Reed. "My daughter was assaulted," she said, her voice tight. Cynthia Harrow threw scalding coffee in her face. Reed's shock was palpable. "Jesus, Emma. We'll get the footage from that AegisNet camera. This is aggravated assault. Maybe a hate crime if her disability was a factor." Emma's mind, latched onto the camera Victor Lang's prized security system, would be Cynthia's undoing. The police moved fast. Detective Laura Hayes secured the doorbell footage, which showed everything. Mia's polite approach, Cynthia's venomous tirade, the deliberate toss of coffee, and her callous words, "Look what you made me do." Cynthia was arrested the next day, her protest shrill and entitled, claiming Mia was trespassing and provocative. Handcuffed, she invoked Victor Lang's name like a shield, but the cuffs clicked shut anyway. Willow Grove buzzed with whispers. Neighbors, long cowed by Cynthia's reign, shared stories of her bullying, fining families for unapproved paint, berating kids for playing too loud. The news broke nationally, the headline brutal: HOA tyrant scalds deaf Girl Scout with coffee. Cynthia, dubbed Coffee Cynthia, online, became a pariah. Mia's disability and Girl Scout sash fueled public outrage, and her troops' cookie page went viral. Orders poured in 5,000, then 20,000 boxes of Thin Mints, and Samoa's a sweet rebuke to Cynthia's cruelty. The trial was a spectacle. Mia, now 13, testified with quiet dignity, her hands signing as she described the pain. Emma spoke as a mother, her voice thick with love and fury, painting Mia as a gentle soul targeted by a predator. Agent Reed presented FBI findings. Cynthia's history of prejudice, including berating a deaf child's disturbing signs and blocking a wheelchair ramp. The jury took 6 hours. Guilty felony assault with a hate crime enhancement. Cynthia's mask cracked as Judge Elena Torres sentenced her to 5 years, restitution for Mia's care, and mandatory training. But the drama didn't end. As Cynthia faced sentencing, her lawyer dropped a bombshell. Recordings of Victor Lang pressuring her to ignore shady HOA contracts, hinting her temper could be framed as a liability on his cameras. The courtroom gasped. Victor, pale and sputtering, was detained. The recordings exposed his embezzlement scheme, unraveling his empire. Willow Grove's secure serenity was a fraud, and its no-soliciting sign was replaced with a new one. "Welcome to Willow Grove, a community that cares." Mia's scars faded to faint warrior marks, her cookie fund securing her art tablet and future. She drew knights, slaying coffee-wielding dragons, her resilience a beacon. Emma returned to the FBI, her mission fiercer, knowing justice could prevail. Cynthia's house sold to cover legal fees, her world shattered. Victor faced his own reckoning, his schemes laid bare. What do you think? Was Cynthia's sentence too harsh? Or did she deserve more? Could Victor's manipulation excuse her actions? Or is she fully accountable? Should HOAs have this much power over our lives? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button, and subscribe for more stories that spark debate.